I made an old man. I said, tell me your story. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is the 28th of December today, so I hope that Christmas was as good as it can be in the present circumstances. Obviously I know Christmas is most likely going to have been really difficult for a huge proportion of the population. You know, you've got people grieving family losses this year, as they do every year, but that's going to be particularly more across the country this year with everybody that's lost their life to COVID. There's tier 4 restrictions. We heard on the news that like the day before Christmas people have been evacuated in the south because of the flood risk, so on top of everything they're worrying about flooding. So I hope you've got through it all right. I know that everybody's struggling a bit, so I hope it was as nice as you could make it in the present circumstances. So Merry Christmas for that, if you celebrate it. If you don't, then I hope you've had a nice few days of rest and relaxation. So we are doing the 12-hour readathon challenge today. It's a little bit later than I had intended to start this. It is 10:30. So I had originally intended to start this at like 8 o'clock in the morning, so that I could finish at 8 p.m. But unfortunately I had to do a bit of work this morning. I had to make a couple of phone calls, so I'm only able to start it now. So, but we're gonna keep going all day, and we're gonna go until 10:30 this evening. So I thought first thing I would do is I would introduce the book that I'm reading at the moment. So I am starting partway through a book just because the dates worked out for me to do it today, and I was already partway through Where the Crawdads Sing. So I've only got, I don't know if you can see, I've only got like that much left of the book to read. So I'm starting with that. I'm going to finish this book off, and then I haven't really picked what book I'm going to read next. I think we'll go up and have a look at the bookshelf and find something to read. I want to keep it relatively short so that I can get through kind of as many books as possible in one day, but I am really keen to read the next Philippa Gregory book. I read Tidelands. I'm going to keep this really short because I don't want a massively long introduction, but I've already filmed a 12-hour readathon. I did it on Christmas Eve, and then I looked back on the footage, and for various reasons which I'm not going to go into on the internet, the edited footage just wasn't up to par. And I spoke to my sister about it, spoke to Tom, my mum, and they all kind of agreed that maybe I should have a go and do it again. So I'm doing it again today. So in that first readathon, I actually read Tidelands by Philippa Gregory and loved it up until the end. We're going to talk about that in the What I Read in December video. But I'm very keen, because I know it's part of a series. The next one is called, shit, I can't remember what it's called, but the next one in the series, I want to find out what happens to the characters next. So I'm really keen to start reading that one, but it's quite a long book, and I feel like this is probably going to be a more interesting video if I read more than one book in a day. So we'll see. But anyway, making myself a cup of coffee. I'm about to sit down on the couch, and I'm going to start reading. I made an old man. Oh, so I've got my blanket. Sorry if the kitchen looks weird in the background, obviously. Don't normally film myself sat on the couch like this. So, yeah, so I'm going to get into Where the Crawdads Sing, and I'll probably speak to you once I've finished it. Tell me your story. He took out a notepad and wrote something for me. Then he kept walking on down the road, and I watched him disappear like smoke. Hello everyone, I've just finished Where the Crawdads Sing. Absolutely fantastic, loved it, absolutely loved it. Sorry the dishwasher's on in the background if you can hear that noise. And I've got a cat meowing. Yeah, absolutely loved that. In fact, I think I've read it in 3 days. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I'll talk about in my December what I read. But yeah, loved it. So, we need a new book. So I've been looking on my book tree to see if I can find anything to read. And I've picked out this, which is a Wilkie Collins book. It's called Miss or Mrs. There's the back of it, if you want to read the back of it. It's really short, so I thought I might read that one next and then go on to something that I'm really enjoying, like either Dark Tides, which is the second Philippa Gregory one, or we can read Bone China, which is, what's her name? Laura Purcell's third book. So we'll get on with this and then we'll see what comes next. So everyone, we're upstairs now. So I'm just trying to make the bed look as neat and tidy as possible. It's kind of hard, isn't it, to make a bed look neat when you're actually sat on it. I've come upstairs because obviously I'm reading all day today, but Tom isn't. Tom's at home, obviously, with it being the Christmas holidays. So I didn't want to make Tom sit upstairs all day. That seems a bit mean, just so that I can sit on the couch. So I've done a little bit of reading downstairs. Tom is downstairs now. He was doing some other jobs and stuff up here earlier. And yes, I'm going to sit up here. I've got a blanket, so I'm not sitting in bed. I'm just going to sit on the bed. I've got my blanket with me to keep me warm because it is bitterly cold in Huddersfield today. I don't know. I'm from Yorkshire. And I also grew up in a household that didn't have a lot of money. And I think both of those things teach you to be quite frugal as an adult. And so, yeah, I'm always like, we don't put the heating on. Wear a jumper. Wear a jumper if you're cold. That's what I always used to hear as a kid. So I've got my blanket instead. I've made myself a nice big cup of coffee in my Mickey mug. And I've got some chocolate. Got myself a tiny bag of Dairy Milk Buttons from a selection box that I got for Christmas. And yeah, we're going to get into reading. So as I said before, we're going to start Wilkie Collins' Miss or Mrs. It's a short read, and apparently I think there are 2 short stories in it as well. They're at the end. So it's 72 pages long, so it's not very long. I'm hoping that I can get through it pretty quickly, but I'm trying to work my way through all of Wilkie Collins' work. So yeah, I thought this would be a good one for me to read. So let's get into it. By the way, as I'm flicking through, I'm just getting to the beginning, which is the first scene. There's the kind of biographical notes and all that kind of stuff that you get with a pocket classic. So I'm not skipping. I'm just getting to the actual beginning of the book. Like smoke, and I thought I'd just seen a ghost. Stanley loves sitting, so when I sit cross-legged, I sit properly cross-legged, but then he'll come up and he wants to sit, and what I have to do is kind of open my legs so there's like a little round area, and then he gets settled in. He's padding now, aren't you, love? Get yourself settled down. And he'll sit there for hours now, just hours in my nook here. Hear him purring. I know, you super happy. What you've got. I met a young man searching for glory. I took out an old pen and wrote in my story. Hello everyone, back again. It's now 3:30. I've just come back up to the bedroom. I actually ended up going downstairs and reading in the kitchen because Tom was playing on the Xbox. So yeah, I've just come back upstairs. I've finished Wilkie Collins' Miss or Mrs. There was actually the main story and then there was 2 short stories at the back. I really enjoyed it. Took a bit of getting into. I think a lot of literature that was written kind of in the Victorian period, you know, kind of Dickens contemporary, I find it quite hard to get into at first. You kind of have to give it a couple of chapters, and with this being such a short book, I felt like the first half of the story I was just getting into it, But actually, when I got into the main part of it, I think it's really good. Again, I'll talk about this on my What I Read in December video, but I actually think this Miss or Mrs. short story could be made into like a TV series. I know they say that a lot with books, but a lot of really good TV series are made from books. I think that would be a really good story. So yes, thoroughly enjoyed that. I enjoyed the 2 little short stories as well. They were good. And now we're going to pick the next book. So I've got some books here on my bedside table. We've got a few to choose from. So I've read all of those and I've read that one. So I read Tidelands and I read this one by C.S. Richardson in the other 12-hour readathon, which I ended up ditching the footage of. So I've read those already. I really want to read Dark Tides because I really want to follow up with Tidelands. Oops. But I don't know whether it's going to be too long for today. The other book that I considered reading was Bone China. Let's see how many pages they are. Right, Bone China is 430 pages. And the text is... Oh, gosh, it's so hard with one hand. It's relatively large. Let's have a look at the other one. Dark Tides. It's really hard when you're looking at page numbers because you obviously don't want to read any of the text. It says... Oh, that's not a... 471, and that is, I would say, kind of similar sized text. Yeah, but bigger pages. So, yes, we're going to read Bone China. I think we're going to go with this one because, yeah, we might get through it in one day. Depends how quick I can read it. But I'm not one of these people. I don't just want to read a book super quick because it's for a challenge. I actually really want to enjoy the book as well. So, we'll see how we get on. I took out an old pen. I wrote in my story. Then I kept walking on down the road. When your time is up, it's time to go. I pray he reads what's on the note. Hello everyone, it is 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. It's just turned 7 o'clock. I am just about to go to the toilet and then I'm going to go down and see Tom. It's been a couple of hours since I spoke to him. I'm about halfway through my book. Oh. Halfway through Bone China. Really loving it, as I knew I would with Laura Purcell. At the moment it's completely different from the corset. It's kind of back to what was the first book called? Silent Companions. It's a little bit more back towards Silent Companions kind of thing. It's kind of set at a country house. So yeah, loving it at the moment. I am feeling pretty confident that I can get this finished tonight. Although having said that, we have only got 3 hours left until the end of the challenge. But I'm hoping that we can get the other half of that done in 3 hours. Because then I'll have done kind of 2 and a bit books, which I think is fair enough. I kind of hope to do more, but we'll see. Right, I'm going to go to the toilet and I'm going to go see Tom and then I can get back to reading as quick as possible. Hello everyone, it is, I think it's about 10 o'clock, 10:30, something like that. Coming upstairs, I've been downstairs since about 7, read my book for about an hour, had about an hour and a half off, had some dinner, sat with Tom for a bit, and then I've just been reading again for a bit. It must be later than 10. What time is it? 10:30. So technically, 10:30, we are past the 12-hour mark just. So I started at 10:30 this morning. It's 10:30 now. So in terms of the amount of books that I've done, I finished off Where the Crawdads Sing. I read Wilkie Collins' Miss or Mrs. And I'm 300 pages into Bone China. There's literally... I've literally got that much left of the book. So I'm actually going to get into bed now and read it, and hopefully I will finish it. I am hoping to finish it tonight because there's not that much left to read. So if I finish it, I won't be able to come on camera because I'm going to bed now. Tom's coming to bed very shortly. But if I finish it, I'll take a little photo and I'll put some text on the screen to tell you whether I finish the book or not. And if I do finish it, I'm going to count that within my readathon because technically it's reading it all in one day, isn't it? So I'm going to count that. So yeah, I hope you've really enjoyed this readathon video thing. I've really enjoyed doing it. I'm absolutely shattered now. I think because I did this video on Christmas Eve... Oh, sorry, there's a noisy train going past. I think because I did this video on Christmas Eve and then the footage didn't turn out, and then like I say, I'm doing it again today, I think actually I may have read too much over the last few days. I'm a bit all read out, to be honest. So yeah, I'm hoping that this is still coming across as enthusiastic at the end of the day. I have absolutely loved it today. I've really loved reading, and the books that I've read I've really enjoyed as well. This challenge was inspired by Astrid Franciszka, who did a readathon a couple of weeks ago, so I'll link her video in the description box below because she inspired me to do this. I actually asked her, I did check with her and ask if I could have a go at doing this challenge as well, and she said I could. So thank you if you're watching this, probably not, but yeah, I tried it and yeah, really enjoyed it. So let me know if you enjoyed it as well. Go check out Astrid's video as well as lots of other amazing stuff. She does a what I read in a certain month series as well, which is brilliant, so I highly recommend that. And yeah, I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else to say. If you've got any questions about the challenge, do get in touch or put some comments down below, and I'll be back shortly with the what I read in December video, which is going to have quite a few books in it now because I've done this challenge twice and there were already 3 or 4 books on the list before that. So yeah, it's going to be a long video is the what I read in December challenge video, but hopefully you like it. Right, I've rambled on now for 3.5 minutes, so I'm going to go. Thanks again for watching. I hope you're having a good holiday, or as good as it can be at the moment in this crazy situation. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon, guys. Bye. When you grow up, you'll be fine. I know you've got questions on your mind. Life is gonna happen one way or the other, whether you like it or not. Stop looking for the answers and you'll find what you've got. When you grow up, you'll be fine. I know you've got questions on your mind. Life is gonna happen one way or the other, whether you like it or not. Stop looking for the answers